What's up, wall fans, common sensors, podcast consumers? Welcome to the video feed for episode 48 of Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall, hosted by me, of course, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. Action-packed show for you today. Lots of good stuff to talk about. It seems that the theme over the past month or so has been hypocrites. So we're going to talk about some hypocrites again, along with some interesting COVID news, some mental health topics. This is going to be the last show in May, so we're going to discuss some of that, of course, and some updates for everybody, I guess you could say. So all of that being said, let's get into episode 48.
Who 1, 2, 3, go tell it to the wall. Tell it to the wall. Go tell it to the wall. Tell it to the wall.
All right, wall fans, common sensors, podcast consumers. Welcome to another very exciting edition of Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall, hosted by me, your absolute favorite podcast host, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. And this is episode 48. That's right, episode 48. 48 of these damn things we've done now. We're actually approaching 200 episodes overall for Go Tell It to the Wall. And for those of you that have been around long enough, you know that means we are going to be having a bi-centibration. Now, depending how safe things are and how vaccinated people are, that could be a small centibration, could be a big one. We have actually gained a few patrons since the original centibration, which was our 100 episode big thing. You might remember there's people in this studio. It was madness. We had our actual on-air producers in this studio. So that's going to happen at some point. I got to go look at the episode count. We're at 180. So hopefully by the time we put another 20 episodes up, we'll be ready to have another, not a rager, but a little bit of a party. So anyway, see, we start the episode and we get tangented. That's how I roll. I don't know what's happening right now. It's been one of those years. I was going to say it's been one of those days, weeks. It's been one of those years. But of course, before I get even more off topic, we always kick things off with our social plugs. You can keep up with the show during episodes, for episodes, after episodes, whenever you so please, and you can do that in multiple locations. One of those would be facebook.com/go-tell-it-to-the-wall. That's right, facebook.com/go-tell-it-to-the-wall. Go follow our official Facebook page. You don't like things anymore, you just follow them. Facebook. Constantly changing things, but we're all kind of stuck using it. I think I'm just at that age, I'm in the Facebook user. I'm in that age range, being borderline Gen X and stuff. So, facebook.com/go-tell-it-to-the-wall. Of course, on YouTube, everybody's on YouTube. YouTube has everything, so you may as well get us on into your YouTube subscription list as well. So head over there, search Go Tell It to the Wall, subscribe to our channel. That's where you're going to find all of our beer reviews. All of our video feeds go up after the fact. All of our parenting playlists, Mental Health Mondays, all that good stuff is right there on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed. And like all the little YouTubers say, hit the bell so you get That's the thing with YouTube. I think I said it last week. Notifications just get mucked up in there. I get random, and I'm like, what? Okay, so just check the channel, every now and then and see if there's some new content up there for you. It does tend to get posted to Facebook as well. So if you're subscribed, you might get notified there as well. And of course, my own personal Instagram, which is at SoCalSean. That's right, SoCalSean, SoCalSean. That's actually, I'm going to get into this. That's going to be a way to keep up to date on some things over the next couple weeks. And we'll get into a little bit more of that with some housekeeping here. But again, at SoCalSean on Instagram. And most importantly, all inclusive of those things I just mentioned would be SeanO'RourkeLive.com. That's right, SeanO'RourkeLive.com. That would be your one-stop shop for everything that is Go Tell It to the Wall, Common Sense Sundays, Sean O'Rourke Live, Go Tell It to the Brewery, all that good stuff. And in fact, you'll find links to those things I just mentioned, as well as links to our Patreon campaign. If you haven't heard of Patreon, I know I say this a lot. If you haven't heard of Patreon, just go check it out. See who's on there. That even if you don't want to give, help fund Go Tell It to the Wall or Common Sense Sundays or any of that stuff, go see who's on there. If you have, a little extra coin in your pocket to help support others out there. Patreon is a great place to do that. And a big shout out to Tom, who is, it's hard to say who our we had this whole number one fan thing, and I hate to take that title away from Darshan. Tom is if anyone's going to take that title, it's going to be Tom. But he He's also has a little ways to go total-wise, but is now one of our biggest patrons as far as the financial support that is given on a episode basis and monthly basis. Now, I say that because we do have patrons that contribute a little less, but have been patrons for 4 years, whereas Tom's at about a year. So thank you, Tom, of course, getting up into that next tier. Still got to get some... I am looking at these stickers, wall fans. Please, as soon as I can get back into the world, if you see me somewhere, don't come running up and hugging me or anything, because I'm going to be a gradual, like, dip my toes in the water type thing, getting back into public here. So don't do that necessarily, but just yell, "Hey, Sean, let me get some." I will give you some stickers, maybe even a little fist bump. Just no serious hugs and all that stuff. And of course, our merch page. You'll find the link right there on SeanO'RourkeLive.com. Go pick up a shirt, sweatshirt, whatever else. It's getting warm, so you probably don't need sweatshirts just yet, but get some T-shirts, some coffee mugs. There is a wine like tumbler on there. I need to go order one for myself. That's what's funny. I think we're going to do a little bit of an ordering thing here so that we can have some stuff in the studio. All the stuff that I have in the studio is like literally, custom made. Shout out to Stupid Rad Merch for taking care of a lot of that stuff for us. All right. Now that we're past that, I did mention last week we're going to have some scheduling conflicts probably over the next couple weeks. I don't know for sure because my schedule is not completely set just yet, but I have a couple of new projects that are being worked on and are going to require a little more of my time over the next few weeks. Not something I can necessarily discuss right now, but I will update everyone once I'm allowed to, I guess you could say. So keep that in mind. If you don't see a new episode over the next couple weeks, that's why. I will try to keep everyone updated. And as I said, I'm going to kind of release as much information as possible on Instagram. So if you want to follow, that's going to be the place where things are being posted over the next couple weeks that aren't necessarily involving Go Tell It to the Wall. Now, here's the thing. Schedule could work out where we don't miss any episodes. So just keep that in mind. If you don't see new episodes over the next couple weeks, it's simply a scheduling issue. We're working through some stuff, and we'll have all of the plenty of great common sense content for you. It's just and to be honest, we're branching out a little bit. That's the thing. Go Tell Us the Wall is branching out. More importantly, Sean O'Rourke Live is branching out a little bit. So there's good things coming. It's just keep in mind scheduling conflicts. We used to deal with these a lot, and over the past year, we haven't had crazy scheduling conflicts because I haven't been able to do other projects. My wife has not been able to leave town. For those of you who've been fans for a long time, we used to miss episodes because my wife was in China. And it's like I don't have time to get in the studio with a, at the time 2 to 3 year old running around. So this is nothing new. It's just where we are now. All right. Let's move right along to digital trends. Now that I used a ridiculous amount of time on that opening, jeez, just all over the place. I gotta stop doing that. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place every damn day. I don't know why I pretend like it's not. No, it's tangented is literally a word that we invented here at Go Tell It to the Wall because everything is constantly tangented, and people tend to enjoy when we're off the rails. This show started off the rails. No. Once we started doing videos and live stuff, then it really got off the rails, and that's why we have producers and other things. But of course, here we go with digital trends for this week. I just got a couple for you, and I'm actually really happy about a couple of these. There was this hashtag trending a couple days ago, and it was hashtag Hi Justin. I saw this trending, and I was like, what? Hi Justin? Are we just like people named Justin? So of course I click on it, I get the background on this. There's a gentleman named Justin who was basically just, and I didn't dive too deep into this, but he did have he had a cognitive issue. I believe minor, in the grand scheme of things, minor, but had put out a request and said he just loves seeing people say hi on Twitter from around the world, and of course. People, hey, hi, pictures of their kids, their pets, everything else. And they're saying, hi, Justin, this hashtag, hi, Justin. And it seems like such a little thing. It really does. But it's a great example of how social media can actually be uplifting once in a while, There's such muck to rake through on social media, and just when you finally see something positive like that and people responding in a positive way, you just can't beat that. So good on you, Justin. Good on everyone that posted and did that. Sometimes Twitter's not a bad place to be. Most times it is a bad place to be. Once in a while, you get something good out of it. All right, the other hashtag my life story in 4 words. I saw this hashtag. MXPX fans out there, like I had Mike Herrera in my head, my life story, and it's like, I can't sing like Mike Herrera, who is, in my opinion, one of the better vocalists in the punk rock scene. But of course, I had that going through my head. But I did enjoy this one. People are, of course, having fun with it. Now, the first thing I did notice about that, well, second thing after I started seeing MXPX in my head, was this is a 6-word hashtag. So we're using a 6-word hashtag to ask for something in 4 words, but I digress. People had fun with it, and I went straight to basically my life motto. And in fact, if you look at people call them, and I guess people always have, I'm just, in the San Diego scene, we didn't say, oh, it's my battle jacket. It was my patch jacket. I actually have a patch right there on my chest. It's like a name tag on my jacket. And it says, hello, I am doing my best. So for me, my life in 4 words is, I'm doing my best. And that's really my entire life. Now, I laugh because it's true, but it's also, it is what it is, I think. It is what it is. That'd be 5 words, I think. I can't count well, but that'd maybe be another little life motto of mine. But check that one out and share them if you have something funny to share. If you can't laugh at yourself, no one else is going to laugh at you. And I assure you, Wall fans, I am constantly laughing at myself. All right. Hashtag Camping World USA. Hashtag Camping World USA. This popped up yesterday. And here's an example of how people manipulate the hashtags. This all started with somebody saying that they were going to give away an RV, if you've heard of Camping World. And Camping World's actually really, like, those giant outdoors, they're really fun to go to. I've been to ones where there's like, you can go fishing, and here's an archery. You're like, what? I just want to buy a tent, but apparently I can do all these things too. It's pretty cool. So hashtag Camping World USA. And I immediately, and I didn't do enough research because I didn't care enough, but I always wonder with these things, does anyone win? This was popping up on Facebook like crazy, and I had friends and relatives sharing like, win this RV, just share this and tag friends. And it's like, is anyone winning these things? Because here's the thing, Wall fans and common sensors. I've worked in this world quite a bit, like a lot. I spent 8 years in marketing at Disney. A lot of what I worked on was sweepstakes based. I'm very well aware of the legal ramifications of presenting a sweepstakes, especially as a company, corporation, organization. You can't just throw these things out there. I mean, you can. You can tweet things, but it's not necessarily official. So keep that in mind, because there are like strict rules when it comes to running a sweepstakes. You have to give. It's madness. I can't tell you how many legal documents I had to go through in my career revolving around giving away concert tickets or a trip to Disney World or all kinds of madness. So, and maybe if you've won one of these RVs or something out there, hit me up. Hit me up, SeanO'RourkeLive.com, Facebook. Because if you have, I will immediately bow down to the people that are what? I will immediately give some props to the people that were able to do this instead of. But until then, I'm just going to assume people are creating hashtags and trying to get them to trend, and nothing's actually happening with them. Nothing. All right, one more hashtag I want to leave you with, and we're going to talk more about this when we get to mental health. Today is May 30th, so we got 2 days. Had to do. Yes, I did just do the rhyme in my head. We have 2 days left. I had to figure out if there's 30 days or 31 in May. We got 2 days left of Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course people are sharing hashtag Mental Health Awareness Month. So 2 days left to share those. And you may think it's silly or simple, but there could be one person out there that sees your tweet or your openness about mental health, mental illness, and that could lift them up, that could give them hope, that could make them realize they're not necessarily alone in those thoughts. So keep that in mind, Wall fans, common sensors. And maybe you have nothing to tweet, or share. Support others that are sharing those hashtags. All right, COVID updates. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Here's the thing. So many states are just opening up. Plenty of them. Florida been open for a while. Good Lord, down there in Florida. California is opening up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks we're going to be at full capacity at sporting events. All kinds of madness. And I know other states and cities are at full capacity at sporting events. Yes, I'm a Red Sox fan, as indicated by the thing back there. They had full capacity at Fenway Park yesterday, I believe. That's going to be interesting with Dodger Stadium. For those of you not aware, and this isn't even a sports thing, there's bigger ballparks than others, and Dodger Stadium's one of the larger ballparks in the country. Just to give you an example, that holds 55,000. Now, other newer baseball parks hold, closer to that. But as I said, Red Sox, they play in Boston at Fenway. That holds like 37,000 people, which close to 20,000 more people can fit into Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. So that's going to be really interesting. But I will say, we have to stop kind of abandoning everything. And I said this a year ago when they started to open things up for the summer, and it was like, we're getting better and all. And then sure enough, boom, we get hit with it again. And it goes back to a lot of the mask wearing. Everyone's like, just rip off those masks. And I've been saying that. CDC keeps recommending, you don't need to wear masks. You don't need to wear masks. And we're seeing constantly on social media where people are trying to circumvent this that aren't vaccinated. And I'm proud to say a lot of my friends I see out there are like, no, I'm still going to wear masks. And that's the boat I fall in. I don't trust anyone. I didn't trust anyone like before the pandemic, let alone now. We're going on honor system now that you're vaccinated. You're going to come get in my face, start coughing. No. I'm keeping my mask on. In Arizona, Jesus Christ. Arizona Punk in the Park happened yesterday. I debated driving out to Arizona. It's like a 6-hour drive. And I've actually got a couple friends out there in Arizona. So I debated driving out there for the show. Holy shit, am I glad I didn't. Now, part of me is like, well, I could have done it because I saw some video and pictures from the Bomb Pop set early in the day. And there's a few people with masks, mostly without. But it wasn't a huge crowd pit for those of you that are aware of the pit at a show. They weren't packed in. So I was like, okay, maybe I could have done that. Pennywise headlined. Then I saw the Pennywise videos and photos. Packed in like fucking sardines. No masks. Right up against each other. And you know what? Here's the thing. That's your choice. I'm done trying to convince people to wear a mask and social distance and be responsible and care about other human beings. Because at this point, if you're not doing that, you're probably never going to do it. We've been through over a year of this, and if you've been pushing back against it for the past year, those people are never going to change. They just aren't. But I implore everyone out there to ease into things. Ease into it. Still wear some masks for a little while. You don't need to go into a huge crowd of people and start hugging and kissing everybody. I think we've realized that those are not the best things to do. Look at the flu season here. Really around the world, but especially in the U.S. Why? Because people were wearing masks. They weren't getting sick like usual because they were wearing masks and protecting themselves. So ease into it. And this one's interesting. I will say the motivation, and I didn't look closely at it because I've been fully vaccinated for a while, but California has put out incentive programs. You can get like gift cards and stuff if you get vaccinated. Look into that if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet. Whether you're just waiting your turn. Part of me is like, damn, I wanted to get vaccinated right away, but I could have had a gift card okay, all right. But we are seeing other things. For example, there's a club promoter in St. Petersburg, Florida, which actually took me back to my roots because it's a VFW. And I didn't grow up going to concerts at a VFW. We went to concerts at an Elks Club in my hometown there in Poway in San Diego. So I'm very familiar with going to shows at like these kind of little venues that are not necessarily having to do exactly with like shows. They put on the shows. But this particular venue in St. Pete, they're charging, for an upcoming show, they're charging $18 a ticket for everyone who is fully vaccinated. You prove you're fully vaccinated, you can buy a ticket to the show for $18. Now, if you are not fully vaccinated, you are still allowed to buy a ticket to this particular show. However, instead of $18, that ticket is going to cost you $999.99 to go to the show if you're unvaccinated. Now, talk about some motivation to get your ass vaccinated, especially if you want to go to some shows. That's a big difference. Now, I was never hesitant to get vaccinated. I wanted to get back into the world and, as much as possible and do my part for my fellow man. So, but if I was one of those people and I like going to shows the way I do, I'd sure as hell be getting vaccinated. I think the most important thing to keep in mind here, everyone throwing their masks into the air and just doing whatever the hell they want. And, and I'll tell you, nature is healing. Here in Los Angeles last night, it's Memorial Day weekend. There were parties going on all around my neighborhood yesterday. It was pretty wild. It was, and I'm not I didn't want to sit here and complain. It's like, okay, well, hopefully they're being responsible. But it was just wild how quickly it ramps up. Just like, whoosh, here we go, full speed. Like maybe gradual. Like warm up the engine a little bit here, people. And then most importantly, like I've been saying for a while, for fuck's sake, the kids. I guarantee there's kids running around. These kids are not vaccinated. Kids under 12, no kid under 12 is vaccinated yet. And in fact, there's plenty of kids from 12 to 16 that I'm sure are not vaccinated yet because that vaccine just got approved. Think of the damn kids. That's the thing. And that's what I have to be extra cautious because I have a kid. I have a 4-year-old at home. And I don't want to hear that, 0.0, whatever, man. So you're going to throw it to the wind and then your kid falls into that 0.001%. How are you going to feel then? I don't want to be in that position. That's just not for me. Think of the children. All right, mental health. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is ending. Like I said, we're 2 days away from the end of Mental Health Awareness Month. Every May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I am going to take another opportunity to remind you. This is the last thing I'll say on Mental Health Awareness Month this year. Once the month ends, plenty of people out there are still dealing with the mental illness and mental health problems. It's a 365-day-a-year problem for many of us out there. So keep that in mind. You can still be supportive outside of May. You can still talk to people. Be open about your mental illness. It's amazing how, once we realize that we shouldn't let a calendar dictate everything we do, how we can continue to help others. All right, masks and mental health. This is kind of going back to COVID, but one of the things I'm starting to see is mask shaming. Now, like I said, I'm done trying to convince people to wear a mask and all this other stuff. If you're not going to wear a mask, that's fine. But we also need to get to a point where if somebody wants to wear a mask, that's none of your goddamn business. It's not. If someone's wearing a mask and you think it's silly to wear a mask, leave them the hell alone. Just leave them alone. No good's going to come of that. Let people reach their comfort level at their own speed. That's the thing. I'm still going to be wearing masks for a while. I am. I mean, not only because I have really fucking cool masks that I can wear, but because I'm going to continue to be safe because it's not that hard to wear a goddamn mask. I understand it's difficult for some people out there. Not near as many people that claim it's difficult for them. And I should have shared that. Maybe we'll do it next time. Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode I get to. But shout out to Laura Rose of Camp Pennsylvania and her business, Oh Baby's Gourmet Sandwiches. Just the most perfect post about requiring masks in businesses and HIPAA. If you're not familiar with HIPAA, and I'm not going to try to remember the damn letters, but it has to do with privacy in healthcare. So like people can't make you like disclose your certain health conditions. Wearing masks and private business, it has nothing to do with HIPAA. So shout out to not only them, but all the other businesses that are dealing with this. Like it's got to be a strain. It's just such a strain, So just stop the mask shaming. Music and mental health. This one came up last night, and I just want to give a little, a reminder and a shout out. How sometimes music can heal, and maybe you're not into music and it doesn't heal you, but for so many people, and this came up, I'm in all these groups on Facebook. That's what makes me enjoy Facebook more. I mean, not only the Barstool Preachers fan group, but there's other fan groups that I'm in, and fun little groups, a lot of them relating to music and stuff like that. Dad groups. I'm actually going to talk about a post in the dad group coming up here in parenting. But somebody asked, and this has come up before, and last night was the most recent time someone had asked, oh, can you please share with me your most, uplifting songs to cheer you up when you're feeling down? And I've posted this one multiple times before, and I did it again last night, and there's a certain track called Holiday by Unwritten Law. It's off the Black album, the self-titled album. And it was funny because I was sitting there thinking last night after I posted it, and I actually went and listened to the song, and I was feeling okay, but I love the song anyway. I don't only listen to it when I need to be cheered up. But I had this realization last night. That album came out in 1998. I've been listening to this song to make myself feel better for over 20 years. 20 years. So thank you, Unwritten Law. Thank you, Scott. That one featured Wade and PK. So thank you to everybody that was on that track. And, of course, a bit of a transformational album, I think, for not for everybody, but for people that grew up in San Diego. It was technically Unwritten Law's third album, but something about that album, man. Something about that album. So remember the power of music. If that's your type of thing, remember what that can do for you and how that can change your mood, and lean into those things when it comes to your mental health. Because simple things can help to ground you. For me, a lot of times it is music. So it depends on what you're going through at that particular moment and how you are. It's not music for everybody, but a lot of times it is. All right, parenting. I'm going to rant about this for just a minute, and bear with me, Wall fans. So this post came up on a dad group just yesterday on Facebook, or 2 days ago, whenever it was. It came up recently, and it really stuck. And I comment on a lot of things that are like fun things, or if it's serious and, especially a mental health thing, and I do have some advice, then I'll comment. But a lot of times I stay out of the back and forth on some of these dads groups because a lot of people in there and a lot of differing opinions. However, someone had shared a post that their wife's friend had shared. And they were pointing out the bad side of it, which I'm going to do. And this post, just to paraphrase for you, it was a picture of three people on a beach, a child, a man, and a woman. And the post started with, I've been watching this family on the beach for a little while. And it literally said, I don't know them at all. And then it went on a rant about how the mother and we don't know who they are, but as they're posting this, the mother is taking care of the child and the father is just standing back, and it was all these examples. The mother took photos of the child, the mother played in the water with the child, and the dad just stood back and watched, and all this ranting and about how father and getting on fathers and how they need to be more involved. Now, the point at the end, fathers being involved, that's not a bad point. There are plenty of fathers out there that are not involved in their children's lives. And just so you're aware, there are plenty of mothers out there not involved in their children's lives. So it goes both ways. Here's what got to me about it. And it was literally the opening line of this post. I don't know them at all. So this person assumed that this was a mother, father, and child. And assumed that the father was just being disconnected to be an asshole. So I responded, and I said, we don't know what's happening here. First of all, even if this is a mother and father and child, we don't know how comfortable that father is in public situations. We don't know their situation at all. We don't know if he's specifically giving extra time to the mother in this particular instance. We don't know. Most importantly, we don't even know if they're a mother and father and child. Right there. I don't know these people at all. You don't know. That's the whole point. You could be looking at an aunt and her nephew or niece and a boyfriend. And the boyfriend is giving, no, that's I'm here to hang out, but you don't know. Maybe it's a nanny and a friend. You don't know. Maybe it's a mother and just a friend. The mother of the child and just her friend. You don't know. It's none of your damn business. When it comes to parenting, so many parents need to be all up in each other's business. And that has to stop. Unsolicited parenting advice, criticism over silly things, all of that's got to stop. Now, of course, there's a caveat to that. You see someone beating the heck out of a kid, probably a good time to get involved. Other stuff, 99% of the time, it's none of your fucking business. And here we go. This woman's posting photos. Now, it's a real far away photo, but posting photos of these poor people, not even knowing their story, and on a rant about how the father, in finger quotes, is a terrible father. Give me a fucking break. It's amazing. As parents, we can all do better. And remember that when you look at another parent, you don't know what another parent is going through. Unless a child is in danger, mind your business. Not your business. It's not. All right, let's get into some common sense. Oh, hypocrites. You got to love hypocrites, man. Content. Hypocrites and just giving me content. Common sense content for Go Tell It to the Wall. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Of course, the hypocrites themselves are not beautiful. But I do enjoy the content. So now, no more January 6th riot excuses for these people that are in court. We talked about last week, they got caught up in the crowd. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Now, one of the big excuses that's coming up in court is misinformation. So people that stormed the Capitol are using the defense of misinformation that they heard from people in power, meaning that they specifically believed the election was stolen. So now we have these Trump supporters and Fox News watchers standing in court throwing Trump and Fox News under the bus for their inaccurate reporting. And once again, Capitol rioters, not an excuse. Common sense says you fucked. Oh God, I can't wait. I can't wait till these people start going to jail. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. Get a taste of your own medicine. Acting all tough and stuff, like, oh, look at me, I'm sitting in. Have fun sitting in a cell now. Dumbasses. My red from that 70s show just came, dumbass. I can't do it. Not nearly as talented as that actor. It's truly astounding. And of course, more hypocrisy from the amazingly hypocritical Ted Cruz. Holy Jesus Christ. This guy's he's walking content for Common Sense Sundays. Walking content. I could probably talk about him every damn week. But this one is just truly like the hypocrisy and just the comment. Like, do you not realize what you're saying, sir? So he comes out and he tweets because, of course, vaccine passports are this thing, having to be vaccinated to travel and go places. And he went on Fox News and then tweeted his quote from Fox News and said, and I quote, "Health choices are a personal decision." This dude is one of the most anti-pro-choice people you will ever come across in your entire life. Constantly saying, oh, they're killing babies and all this other stuff. So, health care choices are personal? You can't have it both ways, Teddy. It doesn't work that way. You can't have it both ways. Here's the other really ridiculous thing about this. Health choices, I will agree, they are personal decisions. However, we're comparing these two things, being pro-choice and having to get vaccinated to go into places and go to things. The pro-choice, not hurting anybody else. It's not to protect anybody else. The vaccines, protecting other people. Not only is it hypocritical, just is black and white hypocritical, but it's even worse to not see the difference there. Jesus, good old Teddy Cruz. Guy, I can't wait until he's just gone. I don't care what it is, but I mean, I know I joke like, oh, he's walking content for Common Sense Sundays. Definitely can't wait till that guy's gone. Like, whatever, just out of the public spotlight. Like, if I don't have to see Ted Cruz, if today you told me I never had to see Ted Cruz's face again or hear any kind of quote from him or hear his voice, I would go out back, pop a bottle of champagne, and smoke a cigar because it would be a monumental day. All right, entertainment news. All right, no, I'm going to switch these up, actually. The Friends reunion on HBO Max aired this week. Very exciting. Yes, Friends reunion. Oh, yes. I know everyone's very excited. I am most excited because now I don't have to hear about it anymore. The build-up on this goddamn thing. The Friends reunion. Oh, Friends and everything else. First of all, Friends, not a great sitcom. The only reason Friends got popular, the only reason is because it aired on the same night as Seinfeld in the 90s. It's the only reason it got popular. Now, if you like Friends, that's fine. I'm not sitting here, you're dumb for liking Friends. But let's be honest, it's not a great show. It's not a great show. And then, of course, they throw this reunion out there, and they're like, please, everybody, come watch this reunion and all this other. And it's like, no. So I'm just happy to not hear about it anymore. That's where I am. But of course, I go looking on Twitter today and sponsored ads, Friends reunion. Like, Jesus Christ. Nobody wants to watch your reunion. Come on, people. I mean, I know some people do, but like, why? Why are we doing this? And from what I heard, it wasn't even good. Like, there was nothing good on it. A bunch of older actors sitting around talking like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to see. Sure. Oh, man. This one, I'm going to try not to rant about this too much. But it was extra thinking about it because the Linda Lindas that you've heard of, this all-girl punk band, got signed by Epitaph and took the internet by storm a little bit there. Super talented. And I was thinking about Travis Barker past couple days. Drummer for Blink-182, former drummer of Aquabats, drummer for Boxcar Racer, drummer for Transplants, freaking everything. And there's a meme going around, and it's the Tom Hanks movie with the pirate, and he's like, look at me, and it's like Travis Barker, and he took Travis Barker to white rappers. You make pop punk now, and it's like that is pretty funny. But I was thinking about this over the past couple days. And with Travis Barker is he's constantly working with people, but he's constantly working with people who already have a name for themselves, who are already quite famous, who even if you don't know their musical talent, you know their name, like Willow Smith. Now, I was aware of her from my Radio Disney days, obviously, but plenty of people, they know who she is, even if you don't know her musically or whatever else. You know who Willow Smith is. Machine Gun Kelly. These are all the people that he's working with. Instead of uncovering unknown talent and bringing that to the forefront, which a lot of other artists out there do. Now, it's hard to realize this now, but Tim Armstrong has done plenty of this. Tim Armstrong helped the Dropkick Murphys get big. Tim Armstrong created the Dancehall Crashers. Now, Transplants had established people in it, but Tim Armstrong created the Transplants, Landfill Crew. And the Crew, like, yes, that's all established people, but the Interrupters, for the love of God, the Interrupters exist because of Tim Armstrong and Tim Timebomb and friends. And it's hard to realize that because they're so big now, but they weren't big at the time. The Linda Lindas weren't big until this hit the internet. But Travis Barker's out there pulling Machine Gun Kellys, Willow Smiths, and a whole bunch of other people who I don't even know who the hell they are. And I don't really care to. And that's fine if you're into them, but it's not for me. But I would like to see a Travis Barker maybe help somebody out that isn't completely well-known. That would be great. I would love to see that. All right, 2 more things, and then that's going to do it for us with episode 48. There's a new show on Netflix. Fairly new show. It's getting promoted a lot, but my wife and I watched a couple episodes last night. It's called Special. And this is created by and written by a guy... oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his first name, and of course I didn't write it down. I believe his last name was O'Donnell, who has cerebral palsy. And it is a scripted show, but it revolves around like his actual experiences and his actual personality and everything else. Highly, highly, highly recommend the show. Not just because we are seeing people with cognitive issues brought to the forefront, but it's a really good show. It's a really funny show. And it's on Netflix, so everybody out there's got Netflix. So check out that one, Special, on Netflix. And then I'm going to just do a quick shout-out to a band that I've been listening to a lot lately. It's not the band that's on my shirt. I'm always listening to a lot of Barstool Preachers. But this is a band that's been around for a while, and I'd heard of them, but hadn't really taken the time to listen to them. And shout-out to my sis, Laura, for sending this over to me a couple weeks ago, and I've been just obsessed with them. Them and Millie Manders, and that would be a band called Street Dogs. If you haven't heard of Street Dogs and you're into a lot of the music that you hear me talk about on Go Tell Us the Wall and Common Sense Sundays and the punk rock suggestions videos that we do, definitely check out Street Dogs. They've been around for a while, and I will tell you, if you like Dropkick Murphys, I guarantee you're going to like Street Dogs. They're not exactly the same, but there is a certain similar feel to them. So like I said, not a new band by any means, but I have been pretty obsessed with Street Dogs over the past few weeks once I started really delving into to some of their catalog. And I'm trying to do more. I always forget to get the recommendations out there, and I'm trying to catch up on some other podcasts and broadcasters that have been like passed my way. And once I have time to actually do that, now, of course, I've got a big project coming. I'm not even going to have time for my own podcast. But once we can do more of that, we're going to get more suggestions out there, as well as getting the links and stuff out there, which I try to do more on the Facebook group, and it's just one of those things that kind of falls to the wayside. So keep an eye out for kind of those recommendations and everything else coming up on Facebook and YouTube, of course, because we do there's punk rock suggestions videos on there and all kinds of other great content on the YouTube. As you know, stuff you don't want to miss, stuff you won't find anywhere else except maybe on Facebook. You won't find it anywhere else except on Go Tell It to the Wall channels and websites and social platforms. All right, on that note, that is going to do it for episode 48 of Common Sense Sundays with Go Tell It to the Wall. Remember, we're going to have some scheduling conflicts over the next couple weeks, so just check back on the Facebook page often, and you're going to see exactly what's coming down the pipe. Yeah, so we'll see what happens on that. But all kinds of great content and some new stuff. Like I said, once I get through the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to announce some new stuff and hopefully some new content coming your way, some new segments and ideas, which is kind of partly what we're working on here at Go Tell It to the Wall, and then some other stuff which really revolves around my own stuff personally. So all that'll be coming down the pipe soon. And even without new episodes coming, we should still be getting some content up there because there's a lot of content in the hopper. So look forward to that. All right. Like I said, that's going to do it for episode 48. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/GoTellItToTheWall. Again, facebook.com/GoTellItToTheWall. YouTube, head over to YouTube, search Go Tell It to the Wall, subscribe to our channel. So we're going to find all of those videos like I was just talking about. Of course, my own personal Instagram, which is @SoCalSean, and most importantly would be SeanO'RourkeLive.com. Bookmark that one. Check back often. Keep you up to date on every single thing that is Go Tell It to the Wall, Common Sense Sundays, and Sean O'Rourke Live. All right, on that note, I am your absolute favorite podcast host, the one and only Sean O'Rourke. And remember, Wall fans, Common Sensors podcast consumers, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, and especially no matter why you are doing it, always use common sense.